Hello and welcome to my channel, your go-to source for the latest in WWE 24. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for all the updates. Let's dive right in.
This week's episode of WWE RAW was chaotic. General Manager Adam Pearce has confirmed that multiple fines have been handed out after the show. The show witnessed multiple brawls and an intense face-off between Oba Femi and Brock Lesnar. The face-off saw Triple H make his way down to the ring to prevent the two superstars from throwing hands at one another. Pearce was also shoved during the segment by Femi, who wasn't willing to hold back against the Beast incarnate. On X/Twitter, Pearce confirmed that multiple fines had been handed out to offending parties. Other brawls included CM Punk and Roman Reigns, who closed out the show. Liv Morgan also threw hands against Stephanie Baker before Roxanne Perez joined the party. Appropriate fines have been officially levied against the offending parties. Thank you for your attention to this matter. AJP. I need a drink, wrote Pearce. UFC's Israel Adesanya believes that Oba Femi is carrying WWE. Oba Femi has quickly established himself as a top name on the main roster. Things only got better for him the moment he stepped up to Brock Lesnar and accepted his open challenge for WrestleMania 42. Speaking with Full Send MMA, Israel Adesanya claimed that Femi was carrying WWE at the moment and gave him a proper shout-out. The former UFC middleweight champion said, "I really like the way he just moves. I like the way he's carrying the WWE right now. He's the guy. He's got that swagger. So shout out to Femi. It's not Oba, it's Oba Femi. That's the guy right now." Femi has already stood tall twice over Lesnar since accepting his open challenge for WrestleMania 42. This week, the former Universal Champion came prepared and was ready for a fight, but officials and security prevented a massive brawl from unfolding at the iconic Madison Square Garden. The atmosphere surrounding WWE has always thrived on chaos, conflict, and controversy. But when the chaos spills beyond scripted entertainment into real consequences, it captures attention in a very different way. This week, that line was clearly crossed, as Adam Pearce, the on-screen authority figure of WWE Raw, confirmed that multiple fines were issued following a turbulent episode that left both fans and insiders buzzing. Pearce's announcement came not with theatrics, but with a tone of firm authority that suggested the situation had escalated far beyond what management was willing to tolerate. In a brief but impactful backstage segment, he addressed the WWE locker room, and by extension, the WWE universe, making it clear that actions have consequences, even in a world where blurred lines between storyline and reality often define the product. Chaos unfolds on Raw. The episode in question was already being talked about as one of the most explosive editions of RAW in recent memory. What began as simmering tensions between several top superstars quickly boiled over into multiple unsanctioned altercations. Backstage brawls, ringside confrontations, and even interruptions during scheduled matches created an environment that felt unpredictable, even by WWE standards. While WWE thrives on high drama, there's an understanding backstage that certain boundaries must be respected, especially when it comes to timing, safety, and professionalism. According to Pearce, those boundaries were crossed repeatedly throughout the night. Although he did not name every individual involved, sources within the storyline heavily point toward a handful of top names being central to the incidents. The ripple effect of these confrontations not only disrupted the show's flow, but also raised concerns about safety and order backstage. Adam Pearce draws a line. For weeks, Pearce has been portrayed as a general manager struggling to maintain control over a locker room filled with dominant personalities, rising egos, and unresolved rivalries. But this week marked a turning point. Standing firm, Pearce stated that disciplinary action was necessary and confirmed that multiple fines had already been issued. His message was simple: no matter how intense the competition becomes, there is a standard that must be upheld. This wasn't just about punishing individuals, it was about restoring order. In WWE storylines, fines are often used as a narrative device to reinforce authority figures' control. But in this case, the tone of Pearce's announcement gave it a heightened sense of realism. It wasn't played for laughs or brushed aside. Instead, it felt like a genuine attempt to bring stability back to a chaotic environment. Who might be involved? While Pearce stopped short of publicly naming those fined, speculation has run rampant among fans. Several superstars were visibly involved in the night's most chaotic moments, making them likely candidates for disciplinary action. Names like Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest have surfaced in fan discussions, especially given their recent involvement in intense confrontations tied to faction warfare and personal rivalries. Meanwhile, others have pointed toward emerging stars who may have overstepped in their attempts to make a statement. Regardless of who was fined, the message is clear. No one is above accountability. A locker room on edge. What makes this situation particularly compelling is the broader context. WWE has been building towards several major storylines, many of which involve deeply personal rivalries. As tensions rise, the line between competition and chaos becomes thinner. Pearce's decision to impose fines suggests that things may have reached a breaking point backstage. It also raises questions about how superstars will respond moving forward. Will the fines deter future incidents? Or will they only add fuel to the fire? In professional wrestling storytelling, consequences often serve as catalysts for even bigger developments. A fined superstar might feel disrespected or unfairly targeted, leading to further rebellion against authority. Others might double down on their aggression, believing that making headlines, positive or negative, is the fastest way to climb the ranks. The role of authority in WWE. Authority figures have long played a crucial role in WWE programming. From Vince McMahon to modern-day figures like Adam Pearce, these characters serve as the backbone of order in an otherwise chaotic world. Pearce's current storyline reflects a classic wrestling trope, the overwhelmed authority figure trying to regain control. But unlike some past portrayals that leaned heavily into villainy or favoritism, Pearce has largely been depicted as fair, albeit occasionally stretched thin. This latest development could mark an evolution in his character. By taking decisive action, he positions himself as a stronger, more assertive leader, one who won't hesitate to enforce discipline when necessary. Fan reactions pour in. As news of the fine spread, fans took to social media to share their reactions. Opinions have been divided. Some fans applauded Pearce's decision, arguing that it adds a layer of realism to WWE programming. In their view, consequences make the product feel more grounded and stakes feel higher. Others, however, see it as a storyline device that could lead to even more chaos. After all, in WWE, punishment rarely brings peace. It often sparks retaliation. There's also a segment of the audience that simply enjoys the unpredictability. For them, the fines are just another chapter in an ongoing saga filled with twists, turns, and explosive moments. What happens next? The biggest question now is how this situation will evolve in the coming weeks. Will Pearce reveal the names of those fined? Will the affected superstars respond publicly? And most importantly, will this lead to stricter control over REW or complete anarchy? If history is any indication, the latter is always a possibility. WWE thrives on escalation. What starts as a backstage brawl can quickly turn into a headline match, a faction war, or even a pay-per-view main event. The fines could very well be the spark that ignites the next major storyline. Final thoughts. Adam Pearce's confirmation of multiple fines following RAW represents more than just a disciplinary measure. It's a narrative pivot point. It signals that the chaos has reached a level that can no longer be ignored, and that authority is stepping in to restore balance. But in the unpredictable world of WWE, balance is often temporary. As tensions continue to rise and rivalries deepen, one thing is certain. The fallout from this explosive episode is far from over. Whether it leads to redemption, rebellion, or even greater chaos, fans will be watching closely. Because in WWE, consequences don't end stories, they begin new ones.